Hello friends, today we will discuss about the types of electronic excitations. So myself, Mr. Nitin Bhoge, working as assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry, Sri Jnaneshwar Mahavidyalaya, Nevasa. So let's see electronic excitations. As we know that there is a ground state and excited state in the molecule, and the electrons are always present in a ground state. When we irradiate these electrons with the UV radiation, that is radiation having a wavelength 200 to 750 nanometers, when these electrons get irradiated by the UV radiation, then there is a excitation of electron from ground state to excited state. So here we can see that after irradiation there is a excitation of one of the electron from ground state to excited state. So electronic excitations, let's see the energy levels and its energy. So the first molecular orbital is a sigma bonding molecular orbitals, and sigma star is its anti-bonding molecular orbitals. The next orbital is high energy orbital is pi, and its anti-bonding molecular orbital is pi star. The next orbital is non-bonding orbitals. So if electrons excited from sigma to sigma star, then this electronic excitations is called as sigma to sigma star transitions. If electron get excited from pi to pi star, then the transition is called as pi to pi star transitions. And if electron from non-bonding electron get excited into the sigma anti-bonding molecular orbital, then this type of transition is called as n to sigma star. And last one is when non-bonding electron get excited into the pi star, that is pi anti-bonding molecular orbital, then this type of transition is called as n to pi star. So let's see the relation between the wavelength and energy. This equation shows that E is equal to h into c by lambda. Here h is the Planck constant and c is the velocity of light and lambda is the wavelength of radiations. So from this relation we can conclude that the energy is inversely proportional to lambda. That is, if shorter the wavelength, higher is the energy, and longer is the wavelength, low is the energy. Okay, you can note that smaller the energy required for excitation of electron, larger is the wavelength of absorption. That means if we want to sigma to sigma star transition, then we will require a maximum energy radiation, that is shorter wavelength is required for this transition. And if we want a non-bonding to pi anti-bonding molecular orbitals, then this transition requires a less amount of energy, that is longer wavelength is used here. So let's see energy order of transitions. So high energetic electronic excitation, that is transition, is the sigma to sigma star, then n to sigma star, and then pi to pi star, and the last one is the n to pi star. So this transition requires less amount of energy, that is longer wavelength of radiation is required for these transitions, and this requires a maximum energy, that is shorter wavelength is required for this transition. So let's see types of electronic excitation. The four types of electronic excitation, that is sigma to sigma star, n to sigma star, pi to pi star, and n to sigma star. So one by one in details. So first transition is the sigma to sigma star transitions. So this is a sigma molecular orbitals in which there are two sigma electrons. If we irradiate these electrons with radiation having a wavelength 150 nanometer, then there is a excitation of these sigma electrons into its antibonding molecular orbital, that is into sigma stars, like this. Okay, so example of these type of transitions are saturated hydrocarbons like methane and ethane. That is, the ethane and methane, whenever in ethane and methane there is a only sigma bond, so there are the only sigma electrons. So in methane and ethane we observe only the sigma to sigma star transition, and that transition occurs at 150 nanometer, that is lower wavelength and higher energy. So next transition is pi to pi star transitions. So this is a pi bond between two carbons, and these are the pi electrons that are in the pi bonds. So if we irradiate these pi electrons with the radiations, UV radiation, then there is a excitation of these pi electron into its antibonding, that is pi star orbitals, like this. So example of these type of transitions are alkenes, alkynes, carbonyl compounds, nitriles, and aromatic compounds. These compounds contains a carbon-carbon multiple bond, that is double or triple bonds, and this double or triple bond contains a pi electrons which excited into its pi star bonding molecular orbital. Next transition is the N to sigma star transition. Into sigma star transitions. Let's take an example of alcohol. So this alcohol contains a oxygen having a two lone pair of electrons. That is, these lone pairs are the non-bonding electrons. Okay. So if we irradiate this type of molecules with the UV radiation, then there is a excitation of these non-bonding electrons into the its sigma bonding antibonding molecular orbitals. Okay. So this type of transitions occur in alcohols. So examples of these type of transitions are alcohols, amines, alkyl halides, thiols, etc. So these N2 sigma star transition observed in a molecule which having a non-bonding pair of electrons, that is alcohols, amines, alkyl halides, thiols. In alcohol there is a non-bonding electron pairs are present on oxygen molecule. In this one there is a non-bonding electrons on nitrogen. In this there is a non-bonding electron on halides, and in these thiols the non-bonding electron pairs are on sulfur. So this type of compound shows sigma star transitions. Fourth is N to sigma star transitions. The promotion of electron from non-bonding orbital to higher energy antibonding pi star orbital takes place. Of these transitions are the double bond involving heteroatoms. For example, carbonyl group, that is C double bond O, C double bond S, C carbon nitrogen double bond, nitrogen oxygen. Let's take an example. Acetone shows two types of adsorption bands, one at 190 nanometer having a epsilon values 100, and the other at 280 nanometer, epsilon value is 15. Okay, so this is a acetone molecule. So this acetone molecule shows the two types of transition, N to pi star and pi to pi star. So these N to pi star transitions are weak, and these transitions are take place at 280 nanometer having a epsilon value is 15, and these pi to pi transition take place at 190 nanometer and having a epsilon value is 1. So let's see the significance of epsilon value, that is molar absorptivity coefficient. So epsilon value is directly proportional to probability of excitations of electron, that is epsilon value indicates the probability of excitations of electron. Larger is the epsilon value, probability of excitation of electron is also more. We observe that in acetone there is a N to pi star transitions is a weak because epsilon value is lower, and in case of pi star transition there is a epsilon value is higher, so this shows a strong peak or strong absorption. The peak at 280 nanometer has epsilon is equal to 15. This peak is due to the N2 pi star excitations, and low value indicate that probability of excitations is low. The peak at 190 nanometer has epsilon value is 100. This peak is due to the pi to pi star excitations, and high value indicate that probability of excitations is high. Effect of solvent on epsilon value. So let's take two examples of solvent, hexane and water. We know that hexane is a non-polar and water is a polar solvent. And let's take excitation into pi star and pi to pi stars. So when lambda max is 230 nanometer, then epsilon value is 12,600. When we compare this range in polar solvent at 243 nanometer, then epsilon value decreases and it is 10,000. Here epsilon value is decreases. If we take excitation pi to pi star in non-polar solvent, that is 329 nanometer, then at that time the epsilon value is 41, and in polar solvent this lambda max is at 305 nanometer, and at that time the epsilon value is 60. So here is a epsilon value increases, that is the probability of excitations in case it is increases. Okay, with this we will stop here. In next lecture we will again. Thank you.